Hi, I just want to talk about the Flytanium G10 scales for the Benchmade Bugout. I got these ones in orange. I just had a stock Bugout with these OD scales from Benchmade. These original scales are kind of thin, and they're made out of a glass-filled nylon. They seemed okay, but the issue I had was when you held the knife, it was a bit front heavy. Because the scales are so light. I mean, that's probably part of the reason why people like the Bugout so much, is when you put it in your pocket, you don't really feel that it's even there. In addition, since they're kind of thin, they have this waffle pattern on the back. When you kind of held the knife and squeezed it, you could feel it flex a little bit. So it just felt a little off. Converting it to these G10 grips, they're a bit thinner, or thicker, and they're a lot sturdier, so it kind of fixes the issue of the flex. And they have a little bit more weight, so the knife feels more sturdy, and it feels a little bit more balanced. The things that you should look out for when you get these grips, they're completely kind of flat except for maybe this little beveling here. The original grips, they had a slight curve on them. It's probably hard to see in the camera. But anyway, what that does is the axis lock, if you look at this angle right here, you can't see the nubs for the axis lock. So you kind of have to get your thumbs in there and squish the fat of your fingers in there a little bit more to actually actuate it. If you compare that to, here's a Benchmade Osborne. If you look here, you can see that the nubs protrude a little bit more. So I would say it's a lot easier to actuate them. Okay, and then here's another Benchmade. Here's an HK mini axis, and similarly, the nubs are protruding. So that's one thing that will be a little bit different. The second thing that's different is there's no more lanyard hole. So if you wanted to put a lanyard through it, you're not going to be able to do that. And then the third thing is the Benchmade grips were ambidextrous, so you would carry it tip up. You can't carry it tip down, but it had the holes drilled for the pocket clip on both sides. And on these Flytaniums, they're only on one side. So that's not a big issue. If you buy it through like Blade HQ, the scales, you're not going to be able to get the holes drilled on the other side. But if you get them directly from Flytanium, I believe you can custom order them, and you can get it on the left-hand side. Now, the big selling point to these grips, in my opinion, are they're cheap. I mean, $39 doesn't sound cheap. It's kind of, I mean, you can buy a knife for that. But when you're getting like kind of these more expensive blades, to get kind of custom scales for your knife starts being a lot more, like 60 or 80 bucks. So $39 is pretty reasonable. And there's a bunch of colors you can get. You can get orange. You can get red, blue. I think there's like a lime green. There's also I think they call this natural or jade. Lots of colors because the Bugout's kind of a popular knife. So I'd say if you feel like the original grips had left a little to be desired, I'd say go for these. It's a cheap upgrade. Okay, thanks for watching.